Right now he's probably playing dice or poker and betting money on it. What, really? Like strip poker? How do I get in on that? Rick nodded. And there is the possibility that some of the teachers are in his poker game. Ew, Wilson is in his poker game? Ugh. Who wants to play strip poker with Wilson? God. Say, Alex, I was wondering. Why did you transfer from your school to St. Michael's? There's just a year left before the university, after all. Well, actually, I was wondering something myself. How did Wilson's dick feel? Hi guys, I just want to take a second to thank all my patrons here who have donated to me. No matter how much they've donated to me, it really means a lot to me. And if you guys want, you can check out my Patreon and help support me continue to make yaoi videos. Thanks, guys. Then why couldn't I dare to ask aloud if it was him? A cold sweat was starting to dampen the back of my shirt, and my hands were trembling. I shook my head. No, there wasn't anything supernatural there. I just had to keep on walking until I found the stairs. Ugh, that knock was really loud. Another knock this time, louder, and I uttered a muffled cry. I could feel presences. Okay, presences, great. I couldn't see anything, but the air around me moved. I glued my back to the wall and closed my eyes tightly. My knees buckled and I suddenly found myself kneeling on the ground. Oh, come on, guys, this has gone on too far. There was laughter, and definitely a male one, and when I opened my eyes, I found Monty, Damien, and Rick in front of me. Monty had lit a lamp and he was looking at me with concern in his eyes. Damien, the bastard, was laughing out loud until there were tears in the corners of his eyes. These assholes. Rick's face was unreadable, but under his serious features I could swear I saw a hint of embarrassment. Wishful thinking, perhaps. Monty helped me to my feet and threw a furious glance to Damien. Look, he's trembling. I told you this was a bad idea. Whatever you say, mate. He shrugged, still grinning. I'm really sorry, Alex. Damien thought it would be fun to do a little prank on you, you know, as you're the new one here. I nodded, uneasy. I had never felt so embarrassed in my whole life. I tried to play it off, pretending to be mad at them while I followed them back to our bedroom. Instead, I was only mad at myself. Was I so gullible that a bit of darkness and a ghost story turned my knees into jelly? I had been certainly too spoiled and overprotected. I needed to toughen up a lot if I was to survive in a school full of other guys who weren't my family. There was no one else to protect me from then on. I had only myself to count on. Still, I thought to myself while I faded into sleep a little later that I was glad to have Monty. Ooh, so are we gonna have to go Monty? Is he the true canon route? Although he had taken part in the prank, he looked truly ashamed afterwards, so perhaps I could count on him as my friend. The other two, well, I didn't want to think about them. With that in mind, I fell asleep on my first day at St. Michael's. The next day was extremely long and exhausting. I woke up very early, but the bathrooms were already taken, so I couldn't take a bath as I would have liked. The next day was extremely long and exhausting. Wait, I just said that. I tagged along with Monty to the religious service, then to breakfast and the lessons. Every teacher seemed to be strict and serious, and after the never-ending lessons, I came to a sad conclusion. I was behind in almost every subject. Well, how has your first day been in St. Michael's? Well, now I can see the differences between my previous school and this one. The level here was way higher. Monty chuckled. But that was to be expected, wasn't it? That was me. That 1 minute silence was me drinking, and god damn. Damn. Don't worry, Rick. Damien and I will help you to catch up easily. We have 2 spare hours until dinner. What would you like to do? Okay, I have a little bit of a choice. I can study, or I can have a bit of time for myself. Ooh, what could we do by ourselves? What do you guys think we should do? Should we study? Should we spend time by ourselves? What do you think? Tell me, let me know. Study. You guys want to study? You guys are nerds. Ugh. Fine. We'll study. Because you guys really love studying. Do you think Rick and Damon would like to start scheduling our study time? I was already rather afraid of not being able to follow the rhythm of the lessons and fail spectacularly with my grades. Monty shrugged and turned to the stairs. I can't speak for Damien, but I'm sure Rick will be up to it. Let's go to the study room. Hey Rick, are you going to the study room? Can we go with you? We could start planning our study time for this term. What do you think? Rick was standing in the corridor outside our bedroom and avoided my eyes as usual. He looked a bit more comfortable around Monty though, not only looking at his face, but also allowing Monty to pat his shoulder without wincing. I wish, but the study room is already full. What? Those guys are seriously fast. How did they manage to reach the room so quickly? Damn it. There's no other place to study? We can go to the library, but remember, we must be as quiet as possible, or the librarian will throw us out of the place and ban us from entering again. Of course. Well, at least he spoke to me, I thought. I followed them to the library. It was a nice and comfortable place. It reminded me a bit of my father's study where I used to spend all the winter afternoons studying or reading. You're on spring break too, Natsumi? I'm on spring break too, so I'm glad I don't have anything to do next week. Oh my god. I'll probably be streaming at least a few days over the next week too. I mean, I'm definitely streaming tomorrow, but probably several times over the next week. Rick explained to me in a quiet voice everything we had learned in class that day I didn't understand. I must say, he was a really good teacher. It was way easier understanding him than understanding our teachers. The curious thing is that once he started to focus on the school's subjects, he forgot completely about his shyness or whatever he had around me, and spent almost 2 hours leaning against my side to help me without being heard from the librarian's desk. Ooh, lean right up next to me in the library. That reminds me of like a porn video I watched of some guy jerking off in a library. Maybe he can stroke us off under the desk, right guys? Let's hope. We might look like two conspirators speaking in whispers and throwing suspicious glances around us to check we weren't being overheard. Monty sat in front of us, glancing all the time in our direction. Oh my god, no more stinky books. No, these books aren't stinky. No semen books. He didn't seem very focused on his homework, to be honest, and most of the time he was just spacing out. At last, he looked again at the wall, at the wall clock and stood up, pulling my arm to make me get up as well. Study time is over. You have monopolized Alex enough for today. Let's go to the dining hall already. Rick looked confused and just glanced down while nodding. Sorry. What are you apologizing for? You helped me a lot. I'm really grateful. I owe you one. Ooh, Hero Voice is getting annoyed. Hero Voice is getting jealous. What's his name? I don't even remember his name. What is it? Monty. Monty's getting jealous, just like Hero. He looked at me askance, and his cheeks tinted lightly. I couldn't help but chuckle. Rick got embarrassed so easily that it was almost cute. And Monty honestly thought Rick wasn't shy. Perhaps they weren't that close, even after sharing a room for years. Interrupting my thoughts, Monty wrapped an arm around my shoulder and pushed me towards the door. Shh! Remember, we can't speak loudly in here. Let's go! And the three of us took our books back to our bedroom, then headed to the dining hall. We sat at what I now called on my mind our table. We sat at what I now called on my mind our table? That is really weird phrasing. I wonder where the hell Damien is hiding today. Well, doesn't matter. After all, it's usual for him to disappear for hours, and you better not ask him where he's been. What do you mean? Monty sighed and Rick, and he shared a pointed look. Rick pushes his glasses up his nose and glanced to the opposite wall, apparently embarrassed. I don't know if I should tell you, but, well, you're better off warned, aren't you? Warned about what? Damien adores breaking rules, so he's usually doing something that goes against the school norms. Right now he's probably playing dice or poker and betting money on it. What, really? Like strip poker? How do I get in on that? Rick nodded. And there is the possibility that some of the teachers are in his poker game. Ew, Wilson is in his poker game? Ugh. Who wants to play strip poker with Wilson? God. I couldn't say a word, too shocked to form coherent thoughts. And just then, right when the food plates were starting to be served, Damien appeared and sat in front of me. He reeked of cigarettes and alcohol and looked over at me with a smirk. Our plates arrived and I was glad to have something to do, enduring Damien's stare was a bit too much for me. Say, Alex, I was wondering, why did you transfer from your school to St. Michael's? There's just a year left before the university after all. Well, actually, I was wondering something myself. How did Wilson's dick feel? I knew they would eventually ask me about that. It's not that I was ashamed of my family background, but I feared they would think I didn't belong at St. Michael's and would be disappointed in me. My Uncle Edward, my father's younger brother, passed away 2 months ago. Since he didn't have children of his own, and my father was his favorite brother, my uncle left an amount of money for my education in his will. We weren't even close. It was a surprise for everybody. But of course my parents were delighted and planned at once to send me to a good school to help me enter Oxford and Cambridge. So your parents are not wealthy? No, my father's a lawyer, but he owns a really modest firm. What? He's a lawyer but has no money? That doesn't check out. Ha! My father could buy your whole village if he wanted. Okay, weird flex. Ignore him, Alex. Rick's father is a lawyer as well. I looked at Rick and Monty relieved. And my family has a lot of money, but with so many relatives, I don't think I can aspire to get more than a good education from them. We're too many to share. I nodded. Hey, don't be offended. It was just a joke. I'm not so uptight to mind about those kinds of things. Damien's father is an important politician, don't you know? I did not, and I don't care. Yeah, and one day I'm going to be a diplomat. Next year it'll be law in Oxford. And when I finish one term in Sandhurst, the military academy, and then hopefully a couple years in the colonies. You'd never smash Damien. He does seem like a bit of an asshole. Besides, who wants to fuck Damien? He's already been used and abused by Wilson. Who wants to get in that worn out hole? Sounds nice. Damien looked at me as if I'd insulted him. Sounds boring as hell. All our careers sound positively boring as well, you git. I'm not excited to get into the stock exchange, although working in the city seems good enough. Hey, at least you'll be in London, and not some foreign shithole being eaten alive by mosquitoes or worse things. And you, Rick, what are you going to study? Rick shrugged, pulling a face. He's going to be a lawyer, of course, just like his father. Not that I like it, but there's no other option. And you, Alex? Yes, tell us. Have you chosen yet? You were in the hospital because you had a hole in your belly wall? What? What does that even mean? Damn. Damn. I don't even know. Hope you feel better. I glanced at my half-empty plate, embarrassed to be the focus of their attention. All of them looked at me intently, and I felt really uninteresting and dull all of a sudden. I haven't decided yet. No, my parents want me to study law or medicine, but I'd rather study something like history. Damien chuckled. That's for poor bookworms who end their sad lives as school teachers. Is that what you want? What I wanted right then was to hide under the table. I still don't know. I've told you. Well, whatever. And he stood up from the table. We followed suit since we had already finished our meal. I think it's all right as long as you choose something you enjoy doing. Yeah, I wish I could choose. I would study history over law any time of the day. I felt slightly better. I was surprised that even in this stern environment, I'd found mates who would support me, no matter how wealthy my family was or my future choices. When we were walking out of the dining hall, a guy from my class stopped me. Hey, you're the new one, right? They've told me to tell you there's a parcel for you, so you must go see Wilson right now and get it. Ugh, God, the parcel's just a ruse. Wilson just wants some of my ass. A parcel? Ah, thank you. You're getting a parcel from home already? I bet it's food. A house-made cake. Nah, knowing my mother, it must be more winter clothes. I will go to the hall to pick it up. Do you want me to go with you? Oh, thank you. No need for that. Okay, but think of me if it's cake, will you? I grinned and waved goodbye to Monty and Rick. I'm already thinking about Monty's cake. Damien had already scurried away. I could more or less remember how to get from the dining hall to the housemaster's office. I was a bit worried because the corridors were completely empty. By then, everybody seemed to leave for the study rooms or their bedrooms after dinner. And I definitely didn't want to get lost. I took the main stairs, glad to remember where they were. The steps were high and the stairs were long and made a curve, so one had to mind their step while climbing down. What is this creepy music again? Oh my god. Suddenly I felt a push on my back as if I'd been bumped with another student. Was I so focused on the stairs that I hadn't noticed whoever was also going down? I lost my footing and the ground was level with my face in a snap. Is this Damien? I tried to regain my balance, reaching for the railing, but had no success. Starting to panic, I saw how the railing had slipped from my fingertips and I kept falling down the stairs. I tried again to reach for something, anything that could stop my fall, but my body kept spinning down the stairs. I was too shocked and too frightened to feel any pain, but my head and limbs kept bumping against the hard planes and the angle of the stone stairs. There's stone stairs? It looks like wood. Then I bumped against something soft for a change and stopped tumbling. Disoriented, I felt two arms around me. And I realized I was lying on the floor in the middle of the endless stairs, half on top of another student. What? Wait, so he was at the bottom of the stairs, so he couldn't have pushed us. Unless he got somebody else to, like, push us for him, and then he acts like he's the hero. Oh my god, that's how he's trying to get in our pants. He paid somebody to push us down the stairs, and now he's acting like the hero. Oh my god, you little shit. You little shit, Damien. I already know what's up. You have a knack for getting lost, don't you? Damien? When I could focus my sight, I saw Damien's face barely inches from mine, and I noticed that I had run over him. His hands were holding me to avoid falling down again. Embarrassed, I tried to move from my position on top of him. I'm so sorry. Damien laughed, amused. I wouldn't mind had I not a bloody step digging against my back. I got up and helped him to his feet. Are you all right? It's me who should ask. You look all battered. Yes, thank you for stopping my fall. The two of us looked stairs down. There was still a flight of stairs until the ground floor. I looked upstairs and I saw I had fallen 2 flights. No wonder everything hurt. As soon as my left foot touched the ground, the pain traveled up my leg until it reached my spine. Damien threw me a concerned look. Can you move that foot? Is it the ankle? I think it might be sprained. Let's hope it's not broken. You could have broken some bones with that fall, you know. Or more than some bones. You are really lucky. I hadn't thought about it, but when he said it, yes, I was lucky to just have a sprained ankle. Lucky some bitch pushed us down the stairs. Damien helped me reach the feet of the stairs, and when we headed to the housemaster's office in the hall. Wilson was horrified to see me being half carried by Damien. What happened, boy? It was just your second day here, damn it. I know, I'm sorry. I bumped against someone in the main stairs and fell down. You bumped against someone? Who was it? I shrugged. I couldn't see. He could have gone downstairs with you to help, couldn't he? Yeah, that would have been the sensible thing to do in this situation. You're supposed to be a gentleman. Perhaps he didn't notice. I don't know, or he was frightened. I felt embarrassed enough and I wanted to drop the subject. I sat down at the housemaster's office, and Wilson put me in an anti-inflammatory. Wait, what? I sat down at the housemaster's office, and Wilson put me in an anti-inflammatory cream and bandaged my ankle. That doesn't make sense. He put an anti-inflammatory cream on me? Damien stood by my side to help me to walk back to our dorm afterwards. Now that I think of it, in fact, I was coming here to pick up my parcel. Wilson threw me an odd look. What parcel? We haven't received anything yet. What? What? Oh my god, it's a setup. Wait, who told us about the parcel? Wasn't it Monty? Where did Monty hear it from? Something's tricky here. Oh my god. Wait, who did Monty say he heard it from? I'm confused. Random guy? He said he heard it from a random guy? Okay, I guess. Sounds pretty suspect though, Monty. But a guy from my classroom told me you had a parcel for me. Damien frowned. Well, I can assure you there isn't any parcel. You can look around here if you want, see? Alright, maybe they heard it wrong. I didn't know what to think, honestly. We found Monty and Rick at the door of our shared bedroom. Monty opened his eyes as wide as saucers when he saw me limping towards them, holding myself on Damien's shoulder. What the hell? What happened? And the parcel? Well, it turns out there was a mistake, and there wasn't any parcel. On top of that, I fell down the stairs because someone tried to kill me. Yeah, we can't trust any of these boys anymore. They're completely untrustworthy. Oh my god. How could you fall down? Did you slip? Damien helped me sit down on my bed. He says another boy pushed against him and made him fall, but he didn't see who it was. What the hell were they thinking? You could have broken your neck, you know. The steps on the main stairs are very high. I know. I was lucky it was just a sprained ankle. Has Wilson called the doctor? There's no need. I can move my ankles so it's not broken, see? I moved my ankle in a carefully slow circles to show them. It hurt, but it wasn't as painful as before. As long as I don't put all my weight on my left foot, it will be okay. If you say so. We were going to the bathroom. Do you want me to help you? I hadn't thought of that. How embarrassing. You could hold on to my dick while I take a piss. Come on, Monty. But after that endless day, I really needed a bath, so I would have to swallow my pride and let them help me. Maybe you can also rub my back in the shower, wash out my ass. Damien took the things he needed for his bath and left while I was still hesitating. Come on, Alex, grab your pajamas and towel and stuff. I bet there's already a mile-long queue for the bathroom. In the end, Rick went ahead to queue for the three of us, while Monty helped me pick up the things I needed for the bathroom. Some of the other boys had pity on me and left us jump ahead in the queue. Left us? Let us. They let us jump ahead in the queue, but we still had to wait in the corridor for half an hour. When it was almost my turn, I suddenly heard someone bickering loudly, and I recognized Damien's voice at once. Ooh, this asshole. I turned the corner, and there, in front of the two open bedrooms, Damien was grabbing the front of the shirt of the classmate who told me to go to the housemaster earlier. Who the fuck is shocked? Not me. I'm not shocked. Damien was scary. He was smirking and showing his teeth threateningly mere inches from the other boy's face, and he was almost lifting the guy from the ground. Did you think it would be funny playing a prank on the new kid, I still don't trust him. I don't care if he's... This might just be... He might know we're watching him and he's trying to prove his innocence. I'm telling you, one of the servants told me to pass him the word. I don't know anything about a prank. As if. Tell whoever is behind this that the kid is in my bedroom, so I'm the only one who has the right to play pranks on him if I wish. Besides, what would you have done if he had ended up seriously injured, Does he have to end his sentences like, That literally reminds me of Joseph. Right, Lindsay? Does he have to end it with, The poor guy was starting to sob by then. I stopped forward, jumping on my good foot to stop that nonsense. Damien, stop it already, come on. Damien looked at me, through squinted eyes, and then gave a last waggle to the guy. A waggle? What is that? What is a waggle? Sounds like you're jerking him off. Will you remember then? Do I have your word? The kid is mine, so you leave him alone. He let go of the boy and he ran to his bedroom screaming. All the people around, mostly my classmates, started staring at me with curiosity. Embarrassed, I approached Damien. That was unnecessary. Do you really think it was a prank? Damien shrugged and started walking, giving me his back. Oh my god, you want to be Damien's? You're literally insane. He's awful. He's actually awful. He looks like Nathan from Life is Strange. A little bit, kind of. There was always the possibility. I jumped behind him, annoyed. Well, you could have just told me, and I would have talked with that guy. Sure. We arrived to where Rick and Monty were waiting for me, watching the whole scene with surprise. I stopped by them, but Damien kept on walking. And don't refer to me as kid again. We're the same age. Damien chuckled and turned to look at me. You are just a little bird, barely leaving the nest. And turning around again, he reached the stairs and left. The week went by really slowly. I spent almost all of... So, how did we already find some enemies, though? Like, how are we already finding enemies at this school when we just transferred? I don't understand why someone would do this. What is their goal? This week went by really slowly. I spent almost all my spare time trying to catch up on the daily homework, but I was still worryingly behind in some subjects. There were already essays to be written, upcoming midterm exams, and group projects. Rick had distributed the tasks for the projects and had prepared a surprisingly detailed schedule for the whole term. I was amazed at his organizational skills, honestly. I had never met someone so clever and with such a tidy mind in my whole life. But I hadn't had any spare time to ask him to help me with the subjects I was more behind on, and I was a bit ashamed of asking anyway. I didn't want to bother him. The good news was that by the end of the week, my ankle was much better, and I could already walk without help. That is, limping, of course. I guess Taiga was Keitero's enemy right away for no reason. It had been really embarrassing to have Monty accompanying me to the classroom, the dining hall, and everywhere for the whole week. And also helping me to dress and undress in the mornings and evenings. Sometimes I popped an erection, and we both just laughed and blushed. And I wanted him to touch it, but he was too shy, and I was too afraid to tell him, to ask him to touch it. I had drawn the line at helping me in the bath. However, he was. I closed myself in the bathroom every time and didn't allow him to help. Oh my god, why not? So I was glad I didn't have to rely on him anymore, no matter how happy he was to help me. Sunday arrived, and with it, my first free day in St. Michael's. I don't want to spend the day at my cousin Jerry's. I chuckled. Monty had been complaining since we woke up. Do they live near here? Half an hour by car. My parents are picking me up in 10 minutes and will bring me back in the evening. I'd rather spend the Sunday here with you. Well, my ankle is way better, and I'm sure you'll have fun with your family. I'd be glad to go out from this building too, but my village is a good 3 hours train ride from here. Monty sighed. Rick and Damien were staying in the school as well, so I suppose he felt a little left aside. What are you doing today? I don't know. I should study, and also, I promised to write home. I shrugged, still undecided. Okay then, see you at dinner time. Ooh, go for a walk in the gardens, go to the study room. Can we save? Alright, I saved. Return. I think I might just end the stream here, but, thank you all for watching. So, bye everybody. See you next time.